Yeah, I talked about this with Catherine McGregor, and I'm going to repeat what might be considered a stupid question by people like yourself who know what they're talking about in all of this. Presumably under deals like this, there would be a couple of subs that the US might end up putting around Australia for us to familiarise ourselves with the technology, because buried in all of those different announcements was Peter Dutton saying there would be more American troops here, there would be more American hardware that would be here as part of a strategic deployment. We know about places like Darwin. Is that likely? That obviously we know to actually get our hands on one of these under our own flag is a long way off, but do you think that there would be a deployment of existing technology that would be similar to what we're buying?
Well, that's quite possible. And I saw Peter Dutton ask that only the other day, and he said, yes, we will investigate that, and we will investigate leasing and using the subs which are sailing around the world at the moment to put Australian crew on to make them familiar. He did point out at the time that because the Americans are in the biggest submarine building program by dollar terms since the 1950s, because they are so concerned about China, that our ability to actually take a sub and keep it ourselves is likely to be very, very low. So I would say that leasing is, I guess it might be possible, but I think it's very unlikely. More likely are our ability to put our crew members on American nukes that are around the world. And at the moment, in the Pacific, it's estimated that right now, there are probably 11 Virginia-class attack submarines somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, probably in the Western Pacific. If tension increases and there is a problem, that can probably be increased to 11 in a period of weeks. To 22, to double to 22 in a period of weeks. Now, that's still not many submarines. Still not many submarines, and the Chinese are getting better and better. And those subs are fantastic if they can stay in deep water, and maybe they're a little less resilient if they have got to go into shallow water to do something. The biggest problem, I think, Paul, for us is that most Australians don't realise the nature of the war. We are now deeply concerned about our relationship with China. Therefore, we're buying nuclear submarines. The question I have is, what else do we need? What else do we need in the nation, and not just the ADF, in the nation and the ADF, if we're facing such an appalling strategic environment?
Yeah, absolutely. Nice to talk to you, mate. And obviously I won't get you into trouble, but watch this space, I think, is the between the lines about the next few days when it comes to the Quad. Thank you, Senator.
Absolutely.
And good on you for fighting hard, mate. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it.
Thanks, Paul.
He's a good man, isn't he?